Do you suffer from multiple sclerosis? Or how about a different autoimmune disease? If so, then today's video is key to your optimization of your case, because new research reveals an inexpensive, widely available strategy that you can implement right away to help optimize your health and quality of life. I'm Dr. John Bartemus, and I'm putting the pieces together to help you live a life at optimal. New research from the Journal of Clinical Investigation in 2021 shows that olive oil can be a key tool in the tool belt of patients with multiple sclerosis. Olive oil contains oleic acid, which is an omega-9 long-chain fatty acid. Oleic acid has been shown to be anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, and help oppose insulin resistance. In multiple sclerosis, the central nervous system is the tissue under attack by autoimmunity. An autoimmune process is where your immune system becomes fuzzy on the difference between self and non-self, meaning your immune system attacks your tissue. In the case of multiple sclerosis, that's the brain and or spinal cord, and that leads to the neurologic symptoms that multiple sclerosis patients suffer from. Well, T regulatory cells are cells of the immune system that prevent autoimmune attack or prevent the loss of the ability to discern between self and non-self. So if we can promote optimal T regulatory cell function, then they can do their job of suppressing inflammation and telling your immune system, no, that's you, don't shoot at you. That's a bad guy, shoot at that. It's when you lose T regulatory cell function that you are now promoting cancer and promoting autoimmune disease and promoting multiple sclerosis. Well, oleic acid is the most abundant free fatty acid in healthy human fat tissue. And so what these researchers did was they wanted to compare healthy human fat tissue and fat tissue from patients with multiple sclerosis and compare oleic acid levels or free fatty acid levels in those tissues. And what they found was healthy human fat tissue contains high amounts of oleic acid, which is anti-inflammatory, etc. Multiple sclerosis patients' fat tissue contains high levels of arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid is the parent omega-6 free fatty acid, and arachidonic acid is pro-inflammatory. Well, chronic inflammation has been shown to suppress T regulatory cell function. Autoimmune disease is driven by chronic inflammation, suppression by T regulatory cell function, and the resultant immune dysfunction and the loss of tolerance or the shooting at self. So multiple sclerosis patients that are having high arachidonic acid levels are very inflamed, which suppresses Treg function and creates a loop of dysfunction in their case. So the researchers wanted to say, well, what if we improve oleic acid levels in multiple sclerosis patients? You see, the key here, why is the fatty acid important? Well, T regulatory cells metabolize fatty acids by a process called fatty acid beta oxidation to create oxidative phosphorylation. Now that's a big mouthful, but essentially what it means is that T regulatory cells prefer fat as a metabolite, as their fuel, and that fat becomes energy for them and allows them to differentiate and perform their functions. Well, their functions that are key to all of us is the inflammation suppressive function, the pro-tolerance function. So if MS patients are lacking oleic acid, and which is anti-inflammatory and which Tregs want to metabolize, and they're high in arachidonic acid, which is pro-inflammatory and suppresses Treg function, then they're promoting the disease process. So the groundbreaking thing about this research is that when exposing multiple sclerosis T regulatory cells to oleic acid, it restores their suppressive qualities and inhibits progression of the multiple sclerosis patient. So if we can get multiple sclerosis patients taking olive oil, raise their oleic acid levels, decrease their arachidonic acid levels, we're going to improve their T-regulatory anti-inflammatory function and promote dormancy, or promote decreased flares, decreased relapsing in multiple sclerosis patients. That's huge. And then if you don't have multiple sclerosis, this applies likely to any autoimmune disease, because T-regulatory cell function is key in preventing autoimmunity across the board. So what we can do is take oleic acid from extra virgin olive oil on a daily basis to promote sufficient levels of what should be the most abundant free fatty acid in healthy human fat tissue, so that there's the metabolite there that our T-regulatory cells want to eat, so that they can do their job of preventing inflammation, preventing autoimmunity, and preventing cancer. Research shows that T-regulatory cells reside in tumors, and if they're doing their job, they can prevent the tumor from progressing. But if we lose our T-regulatory cell function, the tumors can then progress. So extra virgin olive oil, specifically oleic acid from extra virgin olive oil, is key at promoting T-regulatory cell function, promoting optimal quality of life and outcomes, and preventing progression in multiple sclerosis patients, specifically due to this study, but in autoimmunity in general.